everyone. Welcome to the Halloween edition of The Pitch with Fox, Bedoms, and Mitch. I'm your host, John Fox, alongside here with Bedoms and Mitch Sabatelli. Top stories of the week. Brett Favre has 2 fractures in his ankle. 291 could be in danger. Now, Mitch, do you think he will play?
Well, Brett Favre pulled it off. All the spotlight was on Randy Moss and Deion Branch this week. And, you know, everyone was seeing Randy Moss's debut back to the Patriots since the trade and see if Deion Branch can replace him. And so Brett Favre probably felt like, you know, I didn't have any news on me, so I needed to do something. I have a conspiracy here. I think maybe Brad Childress said something like that to overplay the injury just to get the problem off Randy Moss's back. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Possibly. That might be a little far-fetched, but...
I don't agree with that, but...
Let's see. Will he play? I think he will play. You know.
Do you think he should play?
Do I think he should play? Well, I mean, if he's healthy, I'd play him. But remember 2 weeks ago how you were saying how you played Tavares Jackson over Dallas? This week, I think I'd have to agree with that. You know, I think the Patriots suck against the run, and the Vikings have one of the best running backs, if not the best running back, in Adrian Peterson. I think if they're going to have to win the game, they're going to have to get they need Adrian Peterson to run that ball. Yeah. And with Brett Favre, you know he's going to want his 30, 40 passes at least. He's going to be airing it out to Randy Moss. He's going to make a lot of mistakes. I think if Brett Favre is actually injured, I think playing Tavares Jackson might be the safe play.
I agree with you on that. I mean, not only can Tavares Jackson throw the ball fairly well, but he can also run with it too.
True.
And, I mean, the Patriots would not be prepared for that at all.
And if you think about it, if they were, they usually don't game plan until that week, but if they were game planning, they'd be game planning for Brett Favre. Nobody's seen Tavares Jackson in a couple years. Throwing Tavares Jackson out there could really screw up this defense. And, you know, this defense is young, they're not very experienced. They could have a tough time adjusting to that, especially with all the run with Adrian Peterson. And I think that would take all the, like I said, all the problems off Randy Moss's shoulders if they just run the ball, come out running it. That could shock some people. I think that would be good.
I hope they play Brett Favre, and I hope he hurts the ankle more, because...
You know if Brett Favre does play, if he does throw a touchdown, you're going to see him hopping up, hugging everybody. But
yeah.
if he throws a pick, he's going to be hobbling, he's going to be limping,
yep.
He's going to be falling on the ground.
But here's the reason I said that. I'm just getting so sick of all the Brett Favre drama.
Yeah,
I like it.
I just want him to...
Will he play? Who cares? Just do your job.
I think he will play.
It's becoming
I don't think he should play.
I think he will too. He's just, like I said, I think he needs some news on him. It's all been on Randy Moss. Throw him out there.
Now, will he play the whole game? That's the question.
That is a good question. Well, I think if he was milking the injury a little bit, which possibly, he will play the whole game. I think maybe if he starts to suck throughout the game, if he starts doing bad throughout the game,
bring in Jackson.
Bring in Jackson, and I think he might start pretending that he was limping, start pretending that he was hurt the whole game, and they might throw in Jackson.
Yeah.
All right, well, staying in football, Tony Romo, next top story. Tony Romo gone 6 to 8 weeks. How does this affect the Cowboys?
Doesn't really affect them that much. I don't think they were making the playoffs anyways.
1-5.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to show, you know, on the team who can step up, see if their running game is actually as good as everyone thinks it is, and see if their defense can hold up, because, I mean, with Tony Romo, they weren't doing anything.
Well,
without him, how can it really get much worse?
True. Yeah, I mean, they play in a very hard division. Everybody in that division has at least 4 wins. And, I mean, they have Washington, New York, and Philly all in that division. That's a tough division. If you're 1-5 to start out, that's really tough to come back. I think, you know, John Kitna, you know, he's a backup quarterback. He hasn't played for a while. But when he was with Detroit, he was really good.
He was very good.
He had a very good year with them, throwing in Roy Williams. Yeah. With those receivers, you know, he has a big arm. He has an accurate arm. He's much different than Romo. Romo's a little bit more mobile than him, a little bit more of a leader, not just a gunslinger like Kitna. I think Kitna could work out well with that Miles Austin, Dez Bryant, and Roy Williams, who was his receiver back in Detroit. I think you'll see Roy Williams step up.
I mean, they're already going to have some of that chemistry.
That's true. And Roy Williams he's actually been kind of like a Mike Williams this year in Seattle. You know, they're both considered busts. They both played Detroit. Now they're having rebound years, and I think Kitna actually might do pretty good.
All right, now, if Tony Romo is healthier, like later on down the line in the season, and the Cowboys are out by then, if they are, which
probably,
yeah. Do you think Tony Romo should play?
I mean,
Do you think he would benefit from it?
Well, I mean,
That's a tough
if they were in the playoff hunt, I think that they would probably play him maybe after the 6th week.
Yeah, probably.
You know, bring him back a little early just to try to get him going. But I mean, at this point, give him as long as he needs. You know.
Exactly.
I mean, if he's 100% healthy,
yeah.
I would play him maybe half of a game. You know, each game, just play him for a half, just to so he doesn't get rusty.
There's no sense in hurting him.
You know,
exactly.
If they do go back to the run and they start actually do winning games and defense steps up and Kitna was average throughout, I think they'd play Romo. I mean, but you don't want to risk Romo injuring more. I mean, he is your franchise guy.
He could get like a torn ACL and then be out for the next season.
If they need to win one game and Kitna's had a huge, great season until that point, I think they might ride Kitna just for that game if he had a good game because no one Romo was 1-5. But if Kitna was average, I think, and they needed to win one game, I think they'd bring back Romo.
And another thing, too, I mean, obviously Tony Romo is a better quarterback than John Kitna.
Yeah.
But John Kitna could fit into this offense better than Tony Romo does.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if they somehow do make the playoffs, why not play John Kitna through the playoffs, see what happens?
Well, I mean, that's a blow to Tony Romo's, I mean, he's their franchise guy.
But, I mean, just make it known that, you know, you want him to come back. I mean, this is an injury that could keep you out for a whole year. You know,
yeah, how does that affect Tony Romo's confidence, you know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
And
but
plus, Tony Romo with all those playoff problems, if he comes back, he needs a good playoffs.
True. I don't know. It's a tough situation.
Yeah, it is very tough.
I don't think they're going to have that problem.
Yeah, they're done.
Now, final question on the topic, just throwing it out there. Do you guys think that Dallas even has a shot at this point?
I mean, anything can happen, but like I said, in that top division, I don't think so.
I think San Francisco has a better chance of going undefeated for the rest of the season than them making the playoffs. So.
All
right, moving on to the next story. Bud Selig open to widening the playoffs now. So, do you guys like this idea?
My only question is, why didn't they think of this earlier? You know, it's a unanimous decision. Yeah, they all want the playoffs to win. I mean, I can see how the umpire issue, how it affects like the purity of the game or whatever. But this isn't really affecting anything. You know, football has 2 wild cards. NBA and NHL have 16 teams that make the playoffs every year. Baseball gets screwed every time. I mean, you see a team like the Red Sox play in a tough division. I think if they add another wild card, that could really help out some teams. And actually, it might give the MLB more money, you know. Take away a couple preseason games, add 2 more weeks during the playoffs for an extra team.
I don't think they get rid of spring training.
Well, how are they going to extend the season? Just add more games?
Why not? I mean...
Well, you think about it, football, they're cutting away preseason because they want to add 2 more games.
Yeah, but football's different because it's more physical.
That's
Players
true.
get hurt a lot more. Spring training's more for minor league players to show what they have.
But true, but I mean, if you cut it down 2 weeks,
but why cut it down? Why not just start it 2 weeks early?
But baseball is one of the longest seasons. I know that's pretty tough. If you just add 2 more weeks,
but I mean, if you're adding 2 more weeks, it's only affecting the minor league players. It's not really affecting the major league players that much.
I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just saying this is going to help the MLB gain more money. It's going to give more teams.
Now, is it adding 1 wild card or 2?
I think they're going to have 1 more wild card, so 2 in each side. But, you know, this could help out, like, lower market teams who, you know, like, maybe like the Tigers, who were kind of borderline throughout the season. They had to just bring up their minor leaguers. But, you know, this could help more teams try harder.
I'm really not in favor of that because I don't think a team should have a bye in the playoffs.
Football is a bye. Why can't baseball have a bye?
I know, but it's never been like that before, really.
But if you think about it, the team with the best record plays a team in the wild card. If the wild cards,
yeah, but I mean,
the wild card sometimes has almost as good as a record as the top team.
Say like an American League West team has the best record.
Yeah.
Do you really think they should get a bye over the Yankees or the Rays or the Red Sox? I mean, if you think about it, they play in a much harder division than the West. Yeah, so that brings your record down.
Yeah, but we already talked about this. I mean, I'm sure the Red Sox would rather have the Texas get the bye or whatever, and be in the playoffs. And they don't have a problem with that.
Do you guys think that by widening the playoffs, it makes the regular season less meaningful?
Yeah, probably. Because I think more teams would like that because they have a better shot to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, if you have more teams, then yeah. If you look at an 8 seed in basketball, they're not as good as a team that makes the playoffs in baseball.
I really think the playoffs, personally, is fine the way it is because all these teams that have worked so hard to fight for the positions where they are right now,
it is a long season as well.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next topic. Carmelo Anthony. Will he be traded during the season?
I think he will. I mean, he's come out and clearly stated now that he doesn't want to be in Denver anymore. So why wouldn't they get something for him? I mean,
That's true.
I don't think they're going to win the
He
championship.
keeps
this year.
denying rumors like to the Knicks. Like he won't like.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
In a few.
He wa-
In-
he-
in
he's
a-
like-
in a-
He was.
in a
He's
few
not anymore.
interviews, yeah.
He's not doing that anymore. But
All right. Well, you know Melo's going to leave Denver at the end of the season. They're not going to re-sign him. I like your idea. Just trade him now. But I think if they should trade him, they should trade him soon. Because you know, if they do have Melo with Billups, they're a really good team, and fans are going to be really mad at them if they trade him.
and the longer you go, the less you're going to get back for him,
yeah, exactly.
and the less you're going to want to trade him.
Yeah, so if they're going to have to trade him right now. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be kind of like the Vincent Jackson thing, where
Yeah,
you wait
long.
too long, you're not going to get what you want for him.
Exactly.
You're going to end up hanging on to him, then losing him for
Yeah.
nothing. So I mean, trade him now. Get
Get a solid player for the future. Get a pick.
and I mean, see what happens.
Exactly. But like I said, if they're going to trade him, they're going to trade him now because that Denver team is good. They've been the second seed in the past. They're really good. And if Melo plays, I think they have a good shot. And the West is wide open after the Lakers, so
Yeah.
trade him now.
Do you think he's going to go to the Knicks?
I like the Knicks. I like the Nets. They're both teams who were in the hunt for LeBron James and missed out. I know you mentioned something about the Bulls.
Yeah. There's also rumors that the Bulls are in the mix a little bit.
I like that pick. I like that.
I think he would fit in the best in the Bulls, just because they are a better team.
That's true.
And I mean, even without LeBron, they're still a solid team that can probably make the playoffs. But I mean, you add Melo to that, and they're definitely in the playoffs.
Bulls fans are probably pissed that they didn't get that they lost out on LeBron, and they get Carlos Boozer, he gets hurt. They get Kyle Korver. That's not going to do anything. The Bulls are. I mean, the Bulls would really like that. But the only thing is, Denver doesn't. He doesn't want to stay in Denver because of the market. I think if he leaves to Chicago, he has a better chance to go to the Knicks, who just got Amari, who have the cap room, and get another player later. Go to the Knicks, go to New Jersey, has a huge market. I think that'll really help his chances.
But I mean, Chicago is a pretty big
It is a
market
big market,
too.
yeah.
So I mean, you're not losing out there.
Yeah. I think 3 of those teams would be good.
All right, well, that's it for top stories. But coming up next, we have a lot more. For now, we're going to go on a short break.